Love Yours.
That's my favorite.
Ain't gonna lie, I got so much feelings that I just can't hide.
I had a vision for.
So I'm working on something I call Silicon Valley Takeover. First-gen immigrant founders are sucking up the billions in AI investments. Founders need to pick their memes and their themes. This may be controversial, but I don't give a shit about right to win. Do you have the right to shit? Do you have the right to iterate? When I first started investing in Southeast Asia, the first year of investments, 5 seed investments became unicorns, of which 3 of them went public. But now in 2025, I start to see that there's a local maxima that any region, not just Southeast Asia or anywhere else in the world, there's like a limit that you hit if your total addressable market is tied to this idea of a region. So right now, they're breaking free from that. They're saying that, hey, I've done my duties here, like I know what my market's like. Instead of building unicorns in my own region, maybe I can build unicorns in the US. So now it's the rise of the seabirds. Like you've built up, you're strong enough in your home nest. I'm gonna here at San Francisco, right? So instead of this, I'm going for this. So I'm working on something I call Silicon Valley Takeover. We're taking the best talents from around the world and we're making a very intentional, structured way to bring them into the US. Almost 2/3 of US unicorns are made with a first-gen immigrant founder.
I think the number one feature of the US is the fact that it has been historically able to attract the brightest minds from all over the world and then give them the infrastructure to build.
This is like a super highway of the world. So the vast majority of revenues, if you want to be a $100 billion company, your vast majority of your revenues have to be from non-US as well. So I want to leverage all of the infrastructure we've built in our 20 offices around the world. And I'm a big fan of John Wick. I want my entrepreneurs to be like these like capitalist assassins who like they can check into the Continental somewhere in the world. Someone's gonna be like, welcome back, Mr. Wick. You know what I mean? And then you'll be welcome in, you get everything you need. Excitement is a form of stress for me. Getting excited about stuff can also lead to like this hangover of excitement. When you wake up the next day and you're like, man, all these big dreams are not coming true right now. Emotions is kind of like energy packets, if you will. And how do I redistribute those energy packets? So I'm putting the most amount of energy on high signal things that matter the most. It's like, oh, what's your right to win? And so this may be controversial, but I don't give a shit about right to win. I care that you have the right to ship. Do you have the right to ship? Everyone's got the right to ship. Now, all because you came from these schools, you work in these companies, sure, you got the right to have signal, you know, or whatever it is, but are you shipping? How fast are you shipping? Secondly, do you have the right to iterate? Now, a lot of founders, they're not iterative enough. They're not like adaptive enough. They think they move fast, breakthing or whatever it is, or they're like, you know, oh, let me pivot or whatever it is, right? But like these micro iterations on the landing page, micro iterations in a sign-up flow, micro iterations in onboarding, I feel like it's a lost art. People are, oh man, this doesn't work. Let me pivot the whole idea altogether. Then they switch in too many lanes on their drive, right? Where's the right to iterate yourself to compound success? Now, the last one is the right to last. You know, I'm in touch with some companies after the raise around, like, oh man, let's get a swanky office. Everyone's got like these Mac stations and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, great, you want to do that, that's fine. Maybe you've raised enough money to do it and it makes sense to hire and recruit and retain people. I say there's sense in that. But outlasting somebody else
It's a different ballgame.
Right now, we're in like the time of money. But you know, other VCs who are watching this have been around the block. It's like there are certain moments where the money's out, the tide's out.
Yeah.
Right? And the second thing is that the psychological effects on having a very successful first raise. I've had some companies that I've worked with where their first raise was so successful. They were the hottest company of their vintage.
People check out.
I had one VC fly in to meet this like founder pair and sit down and explain and hand give the term sheet, explain everything just to close the deal. Like hotly contested, fundraise like so fast, right? Big validation, whatever. When it got hard in Series B, 2 years to close the Series B. Okay, when things got hard, 2 years to close the Series B. Psychologically, they were crushed, right? So I would say that the right to last is not just about like being like scrappy, but it's also the psychological weather, like to be kind of like battle worn of sorts, to people got resilience, grit, you name it. But the right to last is more than just runway, more than company runway. It's founder runway.
Yes.
And that's where exercising, sleep, and some taking really hard rests. Like when you rest hard. Using intuition, man, this is so legit. Yeah, all this time we be riding this an ego trip. I've been knowing things, man, script is about to flip. Yo,